Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever really thought about who decided where that road goes? Or how that massive bridge you cross every day actually stays up? Or even how clean water just appears at your tap? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the invisible architects who designed the very world we all live in.
I mean, just think about your morning commute for a second. All those roads and tunnels and bridges. You probably use them without a second thought, right? But they didn't just magically appear.
Or how about something as simple as a glass of water from your kitchen? What you're holding is actually the end result of this huge, incredibly complex network. We're talking pipes, treatment plants, reservoirs, all working together in this kind of silent harmony just to make that water safe and available for you.
Okay, now look up. I mean it. If you're in a city, just look out the window. Every single one of those skyscrapers, every stadium, every tall building you see, it's a total marvel of engineering. And it's been so carefully designed to stand strong against, well, everything nature can throw at it.
So who's behind all this? The answer is a group of professionals we almost never see, but their work. Their work is part of one of the oldest and honestly, one of the most essential engineering disciplines on the entire planet.
All right, so let's dive right in. For this first section, we're going to do exactly what I just said. We're going to make the invisible visible. It's time to reveal the architects of our environment.
So here you go. This is the official definition of civil engineering. And yeah, I know, it sounds a little academic, a little dry, but don't let that fool you. The scope is absolutely massive. It's really about shaping our entire physical world to meet the needs of society.
But okay, what does that really mean for you and me in our day-to-day lives? Let's break down what that actually looks like on the ground.
It means these are the people who literally build and maintain the operating system for our society. Seriously, from the most massive, gleaming airport down to the humble sewer pipe under your street, if it's part of the public infrastructure that makes modern life possible, you can bet a civil engineer was there first.
And you know, this whole profession, it's built on a legacy that goes back thousands of years. This isn't some new thing. The roots of civil engineering are as ancient as civilization itself.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It's an incredible story. It starts with the master builders of ancient Egypt and Rome, the people who gave us the pyramids and those amazing aqueducts that, let's be honest, still blow our minds today. Then you fast forward to the 18th century, where this guy John Smeaton actually calls himself the first civil engineer to make it clear that his work was for the public, not the military. And then bam, by 1818, it's an official, formally recognized profession.
And get this, check out this definition from the Institution of Civil Engineers, all the way back in 1828. It is still just perfect. The art of directing the great sources of power in nature for the use and convenience of man. That's it right there. It's always been about harnessing the power of nature to serve humanity.
Okay, so it's really important to know that civil engineering isn't just one single job. It's more like a giant umbrella. And under it, you've got all these different, highly specialized fields. And each one has its own unique and, frankly, fascinating focus. For instance, you've got the ones who are basically the stewards of our planet. These are the environmental engineers, the water resource engineers. They're the ones designing these incredibly sophisticated systems to clean our water and air. Or they're building coastal defenses to protect entire communities from things like rising sea levels and storm surges. Pretty important stuff. Then you've got the connectors. These guys are the masters of flow and efficiency. They're the ones obsessing over how to synchronize all the traffic lights in a city to cut down on your commute time, or figuring out how to design a brand new airport runway that can handle the massive planes of the future. And of course, there are the builders. You've got structural engineers who design the powerful skeletons that hold up our skyscrapers. Then there are geotechnical engineers who are like earth detectives. They analyze the soil and rock to solve huge challenges like, how on earth do we build a solid foundation for this giant tower in a swamp? And then you have the construction engineers who are like the conductors of the orchestra, managing that whole complex symphony of turning a blueprint into a real physical thing.
So yeah, their impact is literally everywhere we look. But what does it actually take to become one of these invisible architects? What's the blueprint, the set of skills that they need to have?
Well, this is where professional organizations like the American Society of Civil Engineers, or ASC as it's known, play a massive role. You can think of them as the guardians of the profession. They're the ones setting the standards for everything: education, ethics, how the work actually gets done.
And a really key part of what they do is define something they call the body of knowledge. The best way to think about it is like the complete DNA of a modern civil engineer.
It's the official playbook that outlines every single skill and competency they have to master before they're allowed to go out and, build our world.
And here's what I think is so cool about this. It's not just about being a math whiz. Not at all. The body of knowledge is actually split into 3 key areas. Sure, you've got the foundational stuff like math and science, and the technical stuff like design. But what's seen as equally important are the professional skills, things like communication, leadership, and having a really deep understanding of ethics. But look, this profession isn't just about maintaining the world we already have. It's so much more than that. So, in our final section, let's look to the future and see how these engineers are actively designing the world of tomorrow.
The ASCE actually put out something called a Vision for 2025, and it lays out a really bold future. It imagines civil engineers not just as technical experts in the background, but as leaders. We're talking master planners, innovators, people who are at the table, actively shaping public policy to create a more sustainable world for all of us.
And this isn't just wishful thinking. This vision is totally backed up by global trends. Take a look at this chart from the World Economic Forum. It shows the most in-demand job skills. Just look at the shift in only 5 years, from 2015 to 2020. Critical thinking skyrockets to number 2. And creativity? It jumps from way down at number 10 all the way up to number 3. These are no longer soft skills. They are now core engineering skills.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that civil engineering is anything but a profession set in stone. It is dynamic, it's constantly evolving, adapting its tools and, more importantly, its way of thinking to tackle the biggest challenges of our time. Things like climate change and rapid urbanization.
So there you have it, the invisible architects who built the world we know. The bridges, the clean water, the cities we live in, all of it is a testament to their work. And that leaves us with just one big question. What world will they build for us tomorrow?